Burgeonites, welcome back to MTG Burgeoning, and here we have our stack of 461 commons, and we are going to trade these commons in for store credit at Cool Stuff Inc., as they have a limited time offer of 35% bonus when you choose store credit. These commons have just been collecting dust, some dustier than others, of course. I mean, the Ginger Brute is on the top of this stack, and I'll tell you, that guy hasn't been hanging around the boxes for very long. But we do have commons in these that have just been hanging around for years and years and years. So, with these 461 commons, in addition to 12 uncommons that we're going to slip in to help mitigate the costs of shipping this massive stack of cards to Cool Stuff Inc., and anything that's left over will go to our bottom line, of course, we are going to shop. We are going to trade up. We are going to bring some more valuable cards in. And that is the purpose of this video today. Burgeonites, welcome back. This is MTG Burgeoning here, and in our video today we are going to do something that we have never done before for the channel. We are going to trade up. We are upgrading by downsizing. And what that means, folks, is that we are pulling out some commons and we are selling them online, and we are going straight to Cool Stuff Inc. to do so. They have a current promotion, or at least at the time that this video was being filmed, the promotion was 35% bonus for store credit. So we decided to shake down the common boxes, flush out some bulk, and this is what we came up with, folks. This is how we're going to turn 461 commons into some nice choice biggins. And we're going to begin with Modern Masters 2015. And here we have 8 copies of Sphere of Suns. And that is going to be, now bear with me here, 2 cents each. Okay. Next up from Modern Masters 2015, we got Scatter the Seeds. Got 5 of these cards, again at 2 cents each. Staying with Modern Masters 2015, we move on over to blue, and we've got Narcolepsy. That's right, folks, we got some Narcolepsy. 6 copies of Narcolepsy, 2 cents each. Staying with Modern Masters for a couple more, Modern Masters 2015 for a couple more cards. Here we have 7 copies of the Ghostly Changeling. 2 cents per copy. Lastly, we got Burst Lightning. 5 copies, 2 cents each. So here's a little stack of Modern Masters 2015 commons. Next up, staying with the theme of Modern Masters, we're going to take a quick jaunt over to Modern Masters 2017, and we're going to show a dozen copies of Rootborn Defenses. And the trend is your friend until the end, 2 cents each. All right, so Modern Masters 2015, Modern Masters 2017, and now we're going to Ultimate Masters. Ultimate Masters, we're going to start with Soul's Fire. We got 10 copies of Soul's Fire, and that is 2 cents each. All right, next up, we're going to go to back-to-back green commons here, and we're going to go with Satyr Wayfinder. Another 10 copies, this time, again, 2 cents each. Green submission number 2 here for Ultimate Masters is going to be Prey Upon. And here we have a dozen copies of the Great Fight card. You guessed it, 2 cents each. And folks, right here is where the trend ends. Third consecutive green common. This time we've got Kodama's Reach. 10 copies. $1 each. $1. $1 each for those 10 Kodama Reach commons. And staying with Ultimate Masters, we have 11 copies of God's Willing. And we're back to our 2 cents. And lastly, Archaeomancer. A dozen copies of Archaeomancer for, you guessed it, 2 cents. Getting out of master sets for a little while here, we are going to Magic Origins. And we are going to pull out 7 copies of Enlightened Ascetic. And that is, you guessed it, folks, 2 cents. Last submission, going back to green, we've got Caustic Caterpillar. We got 8 copies of Caustic Caterpillar at the whopping 5 cents a card. There we go. Now we're moving up. All right, let's go a bit further back in time. And when I mean further back, we're going back to Odyssey. Scrivener. 4 copies, 2 cents each. And after Scrivener, we're going to show up 5 copies of Pardic Firecat. Again, 2 cents each. Our black representation here from Odyssey is going to come in Coffin Purges. 7 copies, 5 cents each. Next up is going to be Ceasefire, White Instant. We got 4 copies of that, 2 cents each. And lastly from Odyssey, we've got 5 copies of Ether Burst, another 2 cents per card. So we're getting there. We're building up the stack. Like I said at the beginning of the video, we're going to turn 461 commons into some biggins. And here's where the bulk of our commons are going to come from. And we're going back to Shadowmoor. And we're going to see a lot of scarecrows here, folks, so I hope you are ready. 1 dozen copies of the Wing Rattle Scarecrow, 2 cents a piece. 7 copies of the Watchwing Scarecrow, 2 cents each. Next up, we have the Wander Brine Root Cutters. You got 9 copies of these guys, these Merfolk Rogues, 2 cents each. 8 copies of Spell Siphon, 2 cents each. Okay, we got 10 copies of the Silkbind Fairy with the untap mechanic. If that will ever come back, 2 cents each. 8 copies, back to the Scarecrows now, 8 copies of the Scuttlemutt. A nickel each. 5 cents per Scuttlebutt. Next up, we've got the Scrap Basket. Got 10 copies of the Scrap Basket. And again, 5 cents each. Scarecrows are representing, folks. 9 copies of the Rattleblaze Scarecrow. 2 cents each. And we are not done with Shadowmoor, folks. Una's Gate Warden, 10 copies. Love that wither mechanic. Una's Gate Warden, 10 copies, 5 cents each. The Morsel Hoarder, another 10 copies. 2 cents each. Memory Sluice, 14 copies. 10 cents each. Hey, Park Avenue, folks. All right, next card is 10 copies of the Crab Apple Cohort. 2 cents each. Nearing the end of our Shadowmoor bundle here, we go to the Cinder Haze Wretch. 9 copies, 2 cents each. Burn Trail is our next card. 9 copies, 2 cents each. Blightsickle, equipment +1/+01 Wither, another 9 copies for, you got it, 2 cents each. And our last Scarecrow is the Blaze Thorn Scarecrow. And this guy is going to have 10 copies of him for 2 cents each. Our last card from Shadowmoor is going to be Ethertoe. And here we've got 10 copies at 2 cents each. All right, and that is our mighty stack of Shadowmoor commons. Not bad. Okay, we are just about done here, folks. Our next set is going to take us to Shadows over Innistrad. Oh, I'm sorry. Nope, not Shadows. Let's go to Avacyn Restored. My mistake. Skipping over. It's a little foreshadowing. It's okay. It happens. All right, so we got Avacyn Restored here. And our first card is going to be the Wandering Wolf. We got 11 copies of this boy, WW, and he's going to be 2 cents each. Wandering Wolf. After that, we have the Terrifying Presence. Yeah, that is a terrifying piece of artwork. I'm going to be honest with you there. I don't mind getting rid of these cards. We got 10 copies of this for 2 cents each. All right, for forging back into the black, we've got the Renegade Demon, and the Renegade Demon is going to have 10 copies, 2 cents each. Back-to-back blue here for Avacyn Restored, Peel from Reality. And Peel from Reality is going to be 11 copies of this for, I bet you can't guess, 2 cents each. And lastly, we have the Alchemist's Apprentice. 9 copies, 2 cents each. Now that we spoiled the next set, we'll pull out Shadows over Innistrad. And the first card is going to be the Vessel of Volatility. At 2 cents each, we've got 15 copies of the Vessel of Volatility. And after that, we've got back-to-back white representation here with Puncturing Light. And For 2 cents each, we're sending in 16 copies. And lastly, from Shadows over Innistrad, another 16 copies at 2 cents each is going to be Expose Evil. 16 copies. Okay, we are just about it. We got one card from Ixalan. We got 8 copies of it for 2 cents each, and that's going to be Queen's Commission. And finally, our last 2 cards come from Throne of Eldraine. We have 23 copies of Mystic Sanctuary. 23 copies at 10 cents each. 23 Mystic Sanctuaries for 10 cents each. And lastly, we have 20 copies, 2 cents each, the Ginger Brute. There we go, the Ginger Brute. 20 copies, 2 cents each. And there is, or there are, I should say, not there is. Let's get some grammar going on over here. And there are our 461 commons. Okay, so what our 461 commons are going to bring us with our 35% bonus from Cool Stuff Inc. is going to be a total of $31.41. Because this is quite a stack of cards we're going to be shipping here, we're going to look to try to mitigate some of the shipping costs. So to kind of supplement these hundreds of commons going through the mail, we're going to cash in a dozen uncommons from Throne of Eldraine of Mystical Dispute. This is a counter... Come on, focus on camera. There we go. 12 copies of Mystical Dispute. It is an uncommon. We're going to use the proceeds of this card to help offset the shipping, and anything that's left over will just be a bonus for us going towards our overall profit. These 12 copies, $1.75 each. So before the 35% bonus from Cool Stuff Inc., those 12 uncommons are going to bring us $21. Add the 35%, that brings the total up to $28.35, and that should be more than enough to cover shipping with a little something extra. So we're looking to spend just around 60 total bucks before shipping costs. So we'll figure probably around 10 bucks shipping. I'll have more of the numbers, of course, as we go through the process. So we're going to be cashing these babies in. And what are we going to get? What would you get if you were going Cool Stuff Inc. shopping and you had around 50 bucks? What would you pick out? I've got my eye on a few cards. I'm curious, what would you pick out? And let's make the shopping experience a little sweeter. The reward system that Cool Stuff Inc. has set up, depending on how long you've been there and how much you've spent during your time there, you have certain percentages off of singles. Currently, MTG Burgeoning enjoys a 15% off on all singles, well, not uniques, of course, of singles through Cool Stuff. So that means that 50 bucks could end up being closer to 60 after the 15% comes off. So we got 35% on bonus for the trade-in of store credit, and then 15% off singles. Burgeonites, what would you buy? All right, Burgeonites. So let's take the painstaking steps to pack up this mountain of cards and get them ready to ship to Cool Stuff Inc. All right, so there we have 473 cards, 461 commons, and 1 dozen uncommon mystical disputes to help offset the cost of shipping, and anything extra will go to our bottom line of reselling these commons to Cool Stuff Inc. 35% bonus for in-store credit. Let's transfer these babies to a box. All right, there we go, folks. We got a little less than 500 cards nestled in with these bubble pillows and a box. All right, yeah, it looks like it's going to work. We are good. All right, let's seal this puppy up. All right, there we go. Burgeonites, we got one sealed box. I'm going to drop this off to the post office, and we are going to wait to see what we end up paying on postage. And I want to hear from you. What would you get? What cards would you? Would you try to go for one splashy $50 card? Or would you chip away $10 card here, $5 card here? What would you do? And remember, we're also playing with a 15% off of singles, so keep that in mind too. Burgeonites, we are out. MTG Burgeonites, the numbers are in. And what we did is with our 473 cards that we shipped, the shipping cost on that was $12.55. So we're going to take our 7 mystical speculations and we are going to trade those babies in for the straight hard cash at $1.75 a shot, giving us a total of $12.25 to offset all but 30 cents of that shipping. So we'll eat that 30 cents as part of our project here. So that's going to leave us with 5 remaining mystical disputes, which we will cash in for the 35% Cool Stuff in-store credit. That's going to give us an additional $11.81 to team up with our earlier amount of $31.42 for a grand total of $43.23. So, with the consideration that we get the 15% off bonus for rewards through Cool Stuff and figure 99 cents for shipping, we're looking at a total singles purchase of $50 before shipping and before the discount is taken off. So it's real simple. Folks, Burgeonites, you got $50 at Cool Stuff. What are you buying?